The game ended 1-1. We'll be discussing all that here on the GPL Headquarters. My name is Mutala Yakubu, and I'm sitting in for your regular host, Ampofuanka. But today I've been joined by my senior colleague, Nana Dakwa JC, and of course, Nanedu also here with me. They'll be discussing all that happened in Kumasi and also what yesterday happened in Morocco. We're not expecting that kind of result from the Black Stars of Ghana. After losing to Angola, we're hoping that results will be better. We would come away with the 3 points, but it never happened as Niger pegged us back in the game to draw 1-1. Meaning that Black Stars' next game against Sudan officially is a must-win game, and it's against Black Stars' former head coach, Kwesi Appiah. He's now in charge of the Sudanese national team. We'll be discussing all that. Yeah. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hi, good afternoon, Kwesi.
Always a pleasure to have you, Nana. Let's talk about the Ghana Premier League. The 2024-2025 season has started, and we've already had some interesting results. The Kumasi Asante Kotoko winning their game against Karela far away in the Sheriga Stadium in Lego. Heart of Folk. Many say that they are continuing from where they started off with. But let's look at the result that have come through so far in match week 1. Dreams FC drawing goalless with Samatex, and Vision also drew goalless with Brecum Chelsea. So the first day did not produce any goals, but second day saw a lot of action because Hartlepool were beaten by new entrants Baseke Holy Stars by a goal to nil. And we had Asante Kotoko also getting a 1-0 victory over Karela. And Swachaman beat the Young Apostles by 2-0. And Adriana drew 1-1 with Heart of Lions than Nana Ajima Bedu Parker. Baby Edigo Stars were also in fine form as they got a 2-1 victory over Legon City. And Nations FC were held to a goalless draw by Bechim United. Results from match day 1. Let's talk briefly about Hartlepool before we talk about Asante Kotoko. Nana, it seems they are continuing from where they stopped last season. They are still struggling.
It's always a pleasure to be here on the GPL Headquarters. I'm excited to be here, and we want to say good afternoon to our viewers and all the people who have been following the GPL Headquarters. Hearts of Oak, I think it's just a matter of time they're going to come good. But if you're a Hearts of Oak fan, there's something you got to put at the back of your mind. This team is not ready for the Premier League as we speak. I remember speaking to Nanedu 2 days ago, and he said this Hearts of Oak team is going to peak probably after week 5. But the question is, as you peak at week 5, the others who are picking up points on the road might have left you. It's the reason they struggled at the end of the season. And guess what? After the exit of Samuel Boadu, Hearts of Oak have consistently struggled at the end of the Premier League season.
I've never been the same ever since Samuel Boadu vacated his post.
That's the point. So you're asking, what has gone amiss? What has gone wrong for this Hearts of Oak side? My good friend, Ouattara, when he came, joined the mid-season last time, the excuse was that he didn't recruit players, he came to meet players, so he's going to make do with what he has. So next season, he's given the financial muscle to go into the market and get players he can use for the season. He goes to the market, brings on board players who are relatively unknown, some one-season performance with their clubs, and you expect them to outrightly flourish as Hearts of Oak players. It doesn't work that way. Look, in the starting lineup of the team that lost to Baseke Holy Stars, 7 of those players were new players. Okay? The backline that Hearts of Oak paraded, Osei Sibe was the only newbie in. The left back is a newly promoted player from Auras. Adramani, the right back, is a new player. Amufa, the partner of Esibe, a new player. The goalkeeper is a new player. All the midfielders are new players. You're looking at Hamza Issa as the only new man up front. So for Hearts of Oak, I think that Ouattara must identify the profiles of the players he recruited, get to know their strengths and weaknesses, get to know who complements each other. If he's not able to do that by the 5th week that Anedu was talking about, Hearts of Oak will struggle in the league.
Nanedu, just match day 1, fans are already calling for the head of coach Ouattara.
Personally, I first say, fans will not be happy because fixtures in the idea. Obviously, a game like Baseke Holy Stars will be one of the games. What they are stars better to say you need to pick the maximum 3 points because it's a newly promoted side. So looking at what happened to your team last season, you like to improve on what you did last season. And what started a new season like this and you struggle to play a team like Basiki Holy Star, you consider the goal under the first 5 minutes. And they are above 490 minutes a year. You were not able to score even one goal at Accra Sports Stadium. So obviously, fans of Murray Stadium will be disappointed with the kind of results House of Folk the more supported. And I think 4 old players, Salim Adams, Raphael Amponsa, Kelvin Osesibe, and Hamza Issa, 7 of them are new players recruits on this particular season. Even the 4 old players, Kelvin Osesibe joined the team last season. Raphael Amponsa joined the team last season. Hamza Issa joined the team last season. So you can see, say, almost all the players, any opportunity, Embo has team more than 2 seasons. So it tells you it's a major problem within the club. And that is one thing that House of Folk need to find a way to solve it. Starting a new season, losing at home to a Basiki Holy Stars team. A team when you're promotion for the first time to the Ghana Premier League. All House of Folk supporters are disappointed with that kind of result, and I think they will have to improve on that. Maybe to me, after they said the team will peak after week 5 because I didn't see enough friendly games that Obeka's has team will build on that. And I think the first 4 games will be like a preseason games. That is why I'm not really surprised. A game against Basiki Holy Stars, Omulusi, our class possibly.
Nana, were the signs clear on the wall because they struggled a bit with results in preseason? But Obeka said it was just preseason, so results did not really matter. I mean, the 2 games that they played at the Accra Sports Stadium against the likes of Dreams FC, you could see that they were struggling. And it's almost as if it's a new team that Ouattara is putting together. Will the fans be patient enough for him?
I tell you what, I've been around for some time, okay? And I've seen teams built from the scratch. Sometimes they built with a blend of the new and the old. I've seen teams overly concentrating on old players and bringing in new ones to augment the effort of the existing ones. But if you look at this House of Folk team, okay, Kwesi?
Yeah.
In the last 2 seasons, I must be honest and brutally frank, the quality of players House of Folk have recruited in the last 2 seasons, my apologies to the players there right now, but almost all of them are downgrades of the players that left after Samobodu won the league.
But Tugbe described the players last season, the players that he recruited as national class players, the likes of Asibi, the likes of Ampedu. He described these players as national club players because most of them were being drafted into the various national teams.
Yeah, but unfortunately, with all due respect to my respected kin, he's not the epitome of football knowledge. You know what I mean? He can have his opinion, but there are genuine expressions about these players that have recruited in the last 2 seasons, and what they bring on board. You're even asking, what are the resale values on these players? Can Hasbrook make money from them if they want to sell them again? Hasbrook brought all these players. Amponsa, they brought Salim back from Cincinnati.
Yeah.
They brought
Kunedu Adam returned to the club as well.
They nearly went for relegation.
Yeah.
So what happened to those national
class
players that my great king was talking about? I think that Hasbrook has basically gotten recruitment wrong in the last 2 seasons. Kotoko made the same mistake last season, but they seem to have gotten it right this season. For Hasbrook, I think it's just going to be a matter of time. But realistically speaking, the quality they have now is not the quality that can win the Premier League title.
I mean, Nana is talking about one school of thought. There's another school of thought that believes that Coach Ouattara is not up to standard. They don't think he's good enough because last season when he came in, he complained about the fact that the materials that he was handed were not materials that he went into the market to bring. This time, he's had the opportunity of presiding over who comes into the club, but results still did not go their way in match day 1. It doesn't look like they would play any better going forward.
Mutala, I think, they did not start the recruitment early. So at the time, our House of Folk team wanted to sign players. Most of the best players have moved to different clubs. Let's look at last season in the Ghana Premier League. Who were the best players in the Premier League? Samuel Tinedu moved to Asante Kotoko. Emmanuel Entry moved to Asante Kotoko. Ankara moved to Inswatremai. Mankuyele moved to Samates. The best players who were in the local league last season. The only player which Maka said has to focus on an upgrade on the ones who were there the previous season is their goalkeeper, Benjamin Asare. Even with that, look at the goalkeepers who left the club. So but yet to say, obviously, position by position, they didn't sign the best players in the local scene. So may I assure that they have issues internally. Maybe it's not out. Maybe it's Sikasem. Maybe there are other factors. Emma, other players in other league are ready to join House of Folk. So I think that there are other issues that affect your performance. But looking at the players they signed, it's one for the future. But these players cannot compete for the Premier League title. That is what me can say.
That's what Taran can say. They are competing for the league title. I remember he granted an interview before the season started, and he was asked of his aim going into the main season. He talked about the fact that on Pesa had to focus that baby over that last season. So his main aim is to just move away from the relegation
Coaching has to focus on Asante Kotoko. Every season needs to compete for the title.
Well, it doesn't look like he competes, and these are some of the players that they brought in. The likes of Ahmed, Maoli Wayo. They brought in Yaya from Babieni Gold Stars as well to compete for the right back spot. So they brought in at least quite some experienced players.
They brought in experience, but permit my language once again.
Yeah.
They've gone by their sell-by price. The form Wayo had when he was at Kim Faisal, before making the transition to Gold Stars, you won't get the same form from Wayo. I tell you what, none of these players signed by Hazlewood will walk into the team that Samobodi won the league with. None. Trust me. None of these players will walk into the team.
Not even Maoli Wayo.
To take off who? To take off Razak from the right wing? Hell
Benjamin
no.
Asare.
Benjamin Asare. In that form that Atta was when Hazlewood won the league, that helped him gain national team call-up for the AFCON. No. None of these boys will walk into that Samobodi team. So if you are building a team, right, and the level of the quality you are bringing on board are not better than what you had 2 seasons ago, tell me which direction you are walking in.
So you think that had to focus are retrogressing?
I'm saying that they've hit the panic button and they are going in a retrogressive way.
And that is one of the most dangerous things. If once you panic,
I'll tell you what,
you panic, you're done.
never underestimate the football brains of the ordinary supporters. The reactions of those fans at the Accra Sports Stadium last Sunday when they lost to Holy Stars is a signal and a message that they are gradually growing uncomfortable with the embarrassment the club keep bringing them. You have to take that miracle in Bechim on the last day to survive the Premier League.
Well, I understand the frustrations of the fans, and it was the reason why the post-match press conference did not happen, because there were agitations outside the Accra Sports Stadium. The fans were hooting at the team and also at Coach Abubakar Atta. But they have some games to go. I mean, 34 matches to play, 1 down, 33 more to go. Let's look at the games that Heartofok will be playing. Some of the games that they will be playing, they will be taking on. I think their next game has to do with Heart of Lions.
Yeah.
Then after Heart of Lions, they will take on Bechem United at home. Then they face Nations FC away from home before they take on Ediana FC. With how Heart of Folk have started, Nanedu, how many points do you think they can pick from their next 4 games?
I think the game against House of Lions is going to be a difficult game. The best result for House of Folk will be a draw game.
Because I saw Heart of Lions against Heart of Folk in the just ended Homo Cup, Base Manchester Cup, and Heart of Lions, I can tell you they are on some good form.
Yes.
The likes of former Heart of Folk striker Kojo Obin Jr., Abednego Tete are all with Heart of Lions.
And they had one of the best centre back last season in the Ghana Premier League.
They are also going to go into that game with confidence, because they went all the way to that Jemabedu Park and grabbed 1 point. It is not easy playing against
Ediana Stars. They were down by a goal to nil. So the Heart of Lions game is going to be a difficult game. I don't think Heart of Folk will go there and pick the maximum win, because Heart of Lions, looking at how we end the Premier League in the second round last season. When you look at the second round points, I will be in the Premier League. They were one of the best teams in the Premier League. So almost also from what happened in the second round of last season. Normal upgrade your squad by signing some experienced players to make sure the team fulfilled for the season. I'm sure Heart of Folk will struggle to beat them. And over the first round, the reason why Heart of Lions were struggling, because they were playing home away from home. This time round, they are playing their home games at the Kwando Sports Stadium. So it makes things difficult for Heart of Folk. Personally, I don't think Heart of Folk will go there and pick the maximum win. They moved to Bechem the following week at home. Bechem United, when you look at their first game against Nations FC in Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex, they have a good game. They would like to get, at least the maximum 3 points in their next home game before they come to Accra. And when we look at the current squad of Bechel United, House of Folk will struggle. But I think that will be the first 3 points I may take House of Folk to get in the Ghana Premier League. So at least a draw against Pando House of Lions and a win against Bechel United will not be a bad result.
Okay, so Hearts of Oak beginning their Ghana Premier League campaign with the defeat against newly promoted Baseke Holy Stars, but their bitterest rivals Kumasi Asante Kotoko were also far away in the north at the Nashiriga Sports Complex, where they won their game against Karela. Kumasi Asante Kotoko getting off to a flyer. Nana, I mean, that Nashiriga Park is not an easy ground, and I remember last season, it was one of the reasons why Karela survived in the league, because they were able to pick some maximum points there, but Kotoko went all the way to beat them.
Yeah, you know, that result Asante Kotoko chalked at Nalerugu is a statement of intent, right? That one, they are ready for the league. Secondly, they are getting the best out of the players they recruited. And thirdly, they have confidence going into the remaining games. You know why? In their last 3 visits to Nalerugu, Asante Kotoko have lost games to Karela. They lost 2 games, 1 in the FA Cup, 2 in the Premier League, in their last 3 visits to Karela. So going to Karela, they had it at the back of their minds that they weren't going to lose that game. So they went with players who Ogum felt he had brought and that gradually fitted into the team. Similar to Hearts of Oak, Kotoko paraded a lineup predominantly made up of new players. Kamara is new, Lord Amwa is new, Esmat is new, O'Neill is new, Ablo is new. So guess what? The entire Kotoko back 5, including the goalkeeper, all new players. The old players were deployed in midfield, in team. Jamina and Yaya. Then he placed 2 other new players up there with Enchi and Albert Amwa. So
7 new players.
Same as Hearts of Oak. But why did Hearts of Oak not get the best out of their players, but Ogum had? Ogum had genuine quality in the players he recruited. And Odum, to be fair, had a more comprehensive and a more planned preseason than Hearts of Oak did. And if you look at this team that Ogum is trying to build, he's instilling unprecedented competition in Asante Kotoko's setup in the last 5 seasons. We've not seen such a competition. Look at the replacement of Amwa at right back. Kote.
Yeah.
You look at the replacement of Esmat at left back. Esiedu. Look at the replacement of Ablo in central defense. The guy that came from Chelsea, what's his name?
Emi Ansu.
Ansu. Plus, there's another centre back who can deputize for O'Neill. Justice Blay. Okay? In midfield, Kotoko paid about 200,000 for Tinedu.
Yeah, who's on the bench?
Tinedu is on the bench of Asante Kotoko. Okay? Peter Miduakwa, who is expected to be Kotoko's poster boy, is playing from the same way he left last season. So, Kotoko have something working for them comprehensively, and the coaches are following the program Ogum brought from the preseason, and they are gradually finding their rhythm. It's early days, but I'm thinking that they did something right in preseason, and it began reflecting. It's early days though, but I think they are genuine contenders of the Premier League.
Now, then we couldn't have gone right for Kotoko on any day than to pick 3 points against Karela far away from home, especially at the Nashiriga Sports Complex, where Karela were very, very solid last season. It was one of the reasons why they survived in the league, because they were able to slaughter teams there.
And it's not like the Karela team, no, yeah, ordinary team. Almost had some quality signings in their team. They've left some, players be on my club in recent times and brought in some quality players. Gerson Randolph is no more with the club. Fatal, former House of Folk captain, I saw him at the class sports. He's no more with the Karela team. Mastola Jamalaki, to remember him, or not showing a part of the team as it stands now. So it tells you that, sacrificing some of these players and bringing in some quality players to make it to the Premier League. And Jimmy Kwabala, when you have rich experience in the local scene, Akodrene, Abubakar Damba, our technical bench, to make sure say Karela team no better respectable position on the league level. So for Asante Kotoko to go there and pick the maximum win. Now I was talking about the squad. Saka Dauda, Ofina Rugu, Ohono free. He was in the team. He started from the bench.
Here's the captain of Bofako.
This was the captain of Bofakatano. In fact, Osha Bofu team the last season, he was the reason why House of Folk lost to them at Sunyane. He scored that important goal for Bofakatano against House of Folk. So, only a bad player. And for some player to be on the bench for Babayaya and Peter Abinuaka to start that particular position for Asante Kotoko tells you that on the bench and the players who are starting for Kotoko, they have quality players. Albert Amwa from Great Olympics. Look at players on the bench. They have even a foreigner who is on the bench. Look at the goalkeeping department. One area be person were in the shoes of Prosper Neteogun because we've seen it before. Remember Kwame Ba for the Sama Anai Saga. Now it's Freddie Kasare and of course Mohamed Kamara. Kamara is a man of the match in a game against Karela.
But Asari be number one. Asari is always the number one.
That is why I make us a situation like this. You need to be a strong manager to manage situations.
You don't need to be a strong manager. Asari is the number one. He ends there.
And the captain of the side.
Of course, he ends there.
But this is the situation now. Obiako that poor against Karela. Man of the match.
But Asari is the number one. He ends there. I mean,
I didn't want to wade into this argument.
Yeah.
But I think we're overblowing it out of proportion.
Yeah.
Okay. Asari is Asante Kotoko's substantive captain.
So
hold it. He is Asante Kotoko's #1 goalkeeper. He is the third choice of the senior national team,
Black Stars.
the Black Stars. Right? If Kamara was good enough, he should have been in the Guinean national team. With all due respect.
Yeah, with all due respect. I like that one.
You keep one game in Nalerugu, you win man of the match, and you guys think it's enough justification to bench the captain of the side who over the last one season have demonstrated that he's the best goalkeeper on the local team. I'm saying that
is why I didn't.
Look, the fact that you were not wise yesterday does not mean you will not be wise today. Right? Those that took the decision that halted the progress of Annan and Danlad will be sitting down and regret the decisions they took, because you know what? Those decisions have adversely affected the two boys. Where's Annan now? Where is Danlad now?
Annan is in the USA.
I'm saying that this situation is this situation is going to be managed well, but with competence and performance. If Asari comes from the national team come today and he's not performing at training, I would justify on any day why he should be on the bench.
Okay, so there's a justification that he should be on the bench because he's not performing well.
If Asari returns
he's
and he's not showing any glimpses of match rustiness, the man of the match performance from one game from a goalkeeper who is expected to be the backup should never come up for discussion.
And I've heard a lot of people wading into this conversation and bringing in the Danlad experience. But Danlad at a point admitted that his performances were not good for Asante Kotoko. So he has a part to play in this. He wasn't good to be the #1 at a point. But this is the case where it's just one game. It's very difficult for a coach.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Okay, based on the performance from that Nalerugu game, can convince me, sitting in these studios of Max TV, that Kamara is a more complete and a better goalkeeper than Frederick Asari. I would not take that today and never.
Frederick, even that healthy competition, I bet that
it's going to make Kotoko lucrative and better.
And this is what we know Kotoko for. Kotoko, anytime they have good goalkeepers.
No, you see, there's a difference between having good goalkeepers and knowing how to manage the situation amongst those goalkeepers. Because in this case, everybody's going to feel like he's a prima donna. I need to start. I'm in the national team. I got a man of the match. Like you said, the decision rests in Najao. Najao is my good friend. Yeah. The goalkeeper's trainer of Asante Kotoko. He's the same person that supervised the Danlad.
And I'm telling you that Nanedu Kotoko, Frederick Asari and Kamara, omunye better goalkeepers in Cheutega ne Edison Manchester City. But who is the #1? Edison is one of the best backup goalkeepers you can have in the world. But yet say Edison is the #1. Don't try to fool something that is not there. It happened to Felix Annan. It has happened to Danlad.
Edison Liverpool goalkeeper. National team But Bakuya 4 years running championship winning goalkeeper.
Arguably the best league in the world.
That's what I'm saying. So regardless, Asari will continue and will always be Asante Kotoko's #1 if he becomes consistent with his performance. What Kamara is Kamara Samuka Asembia 2008 African Cup of Nations near born Ghana no. Uka say na Ghana ni Guinea wo group, Ghana ni Guinea bo opening match. Muka say na 1-1 Ghana struggle and so shake
Muntari.
Goalkeeper na no dem no, Kamara ne papa no. So goalkeeping ne e won ebusuamu. But waba kro bi so akro no wo Omo national team goalkeeper, a club captain sign number 1. On him go da, or better go. But it's here.
That's the situation. As I say, baby,
a professional. A most important than the back Ghana and Manita, as I say. Keeper now on the Nuka or a national asset. And I'm saying, Ogumuno, they can even help Kamara build on his form to go to the Guinea national team.
Of course.
But to outrightly conclude, say, Wajiman of the match in T, or him dancing Freddie there.
And I don't know, but I have a feeling that Frederick Asare might be playing his last season for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. I think that he may move outside if he continues to show consistency with his performance. So quickly, let's go through the table. Just match day 1, so not much happening in Swaterman. Baby, any goal Stars Asante Kotoko, but second Holy Stars and Medium are all picking up 3 points. The rest, like Diana, Hearts of Lions, Bechem United, Becum Chelsea, all had just the points from the opening day. So the second half of the table also has Dreams FC, Nations FC, Samatex Vision, Legon Cities and Accra Legon Cities not picking up any points. Accra Lions also not having a point. Hearts of Folk already in the relegation zone together with Karela and Young Apostles. But it's only match day 1. You're still watching the GPL Headquarters here on Max TV, and already the conversation is getting interesting. We take a quick break. When we return, we talk about the Black Stars of Ghana.
GPL Headquarters.
Max Buy Back to School promo is here again from 1st to 30th September 2024 with bigger, better, and exciting giveaways and discounts. Buy selected Techno, Infinix, itel phones, Cynix appliances, or Infinix TV from any Max Buy shop or online and stand a chance to win big for your awards. From school bags to shopping vouchers, kettles, blenders, air fryers, and a lot more. Rush to any of our showrooms and save your pocket money for school fees now. Hurry while stocks last, and remember, the more Max Buy products you buy, the better your chances. So hurry, call us on 054-401-9552 or order online at maxbuy.com.gh. Max Buy, happy life. Terms and conditions apply.
It's like you win.
The best in online games is here. Lucky Win Ghana. If we say Sika Wofia, Nije Wofia, this year, dear, it's your chance to chop big. So play any of our games such as Super Spin, Cash Spin, Classic Roulette, Penalty Shootout, Slot 777, Crash Games, and more at www.luckywin.com.gh. With a minimum of 1 Ghana cedis, you stand a chance to win instant cash prizes up to 1 million Ghana cedis on your phone. Plus, you can withdraw your cash prizes at any time of the day. So hurry now, because Mr. Money know the waste time. Lucky Win, play with less, chance to win big. This advert has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly, only for persons 18 years and above. Gaming can be addictive.
GPL Headquarters.
watching the GPL headquarters here on Max TV. My name is Mutala Yakubu, and as you know, I've been joined by my senior colleague Nana Dakwajisi, and of course Nanedu. We've already discussed the Ghana Premier League match day 1 results, and the discussion is already getting interesting. But this time we have to delve deep into the national team, and we'll start off with the Black Stars of Ghana because they are struggling to pick up points in the Africa Cup of Nations qualifier. The AFCON has almost become like a birthright for Ghana, but this time we are struggling, and we're hoping that the next 4 games would see an improvement in the team so that we gain some points. We lost our opener against Angola last Thursday at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. Then we drew 1-1 with Niger yesterday. So this is how the table looks like after playing 2 games in the qualifiers. Angola have won both of their games as they won against Ghana and beat Sudan 2-1 yesterday. Sudan have 3 points. Ghana have 1 and Niger have 1. Nana, let me start with you. We're at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. Hopeful that the Black Stars of Ghana would put smiles on the faces of Ghanaians. It never happened as Angola shocked us by beating us 1-0.
Yes, I'm just trying to find words to describe the kind of performance that I saw from the Black Stars in Kumasi, the outcome of the game, the reaction of the fans and all that. Depressing, discouraging, disheartening, mediocre, unpleasant, frustrating, and unsatisfying. Here's a national team that has seen a decline in form over the last 5 years, and it's something realistic for every, student of the game to see, but we're closing our eyes because we cover deep cracks with the papers, and so we do not see the underlying effect of the cracks in our future endeavors. I tell you what, this Black Stars team is on a decline, and it's the gospel truth that we need to accept as a people and find a way.
But it's gone on for too long. Since 2017, we seem to be on some bad path, and nobody seems to understand why.
Because we're not telling ourselves the truth. We're not pinching ourselves to ask ourselves where the basic and the fundamental problems are and how we can fix them. We need to stop tickling ourselves that we are a force in African football. It has come to a point
where... You think we are no longer a force?
How can you be a force when you can't beat Madagascar, when you can't beat Comoros, when you cannot beat Angola on home soil? For the first time in 24 years, Black Stars have lost a game in Kumasi. You are kidding me. Against Angola. Their first ever victory over Ghana in a competitive game. So, where's the progress of the Black Stars? The last time Ghana went to the AFCON was in January, and Ghana exited at the first round.
The group stage.
Can you imagine? So then Ghana returns from the AFCON. There's a change in coaches. Otuado comes. Ghana wins against Mali. Ghana wins against Central African Republic. Oh, team Naye. Then you go to play against Angola. You cannot beat Angola when the stadium is fully packed to capacity. You go to Niger. You cannot beat Niger in 2024 when you claim to have players.
And it was played at a neutral ground.
When you claim to have players playing in Arsenal, in West Ham, in Valladolid, in Brighton, in Bournemouth, in Atletico Bilbao.
You have 2 Leicester City players.
And you cannot beat Niger and you want to tell me your football is on the ascendancy? You're a big joke. Okay? We've gotten to a point where we need to tell ourselves that we're building from the scratch. We shouldn't be too expectant of this national team because the more you expect them to flourish, the more you get disappointed. We're thriving basically on names. We're not asking ourselves whether we're doing the things that the other countries are doing and they are progressing and we've been left where we are. You beat Mali and you beat Central African Republic and you say you are fine. When those victories came about because of individual brilliance from players, you got to ask yourself about how this team have shaped up and how they've gotten results under Otuado.
Okay.
He might not be a bad coach, but clearly the results are pointing to the fact that there's a lot more work to be done by this technical team.
I mean, Nane, you're a big fan of Otuado. I mean, you've advocated for him coming back. He's back at the helm of affairs, played 2 friendly games. played 2 World Cup qualifiers, which were good results. We won against Central African Republic, even though we struggled a bit there. Then we get to the Africa Cup of Nations qualifier, which is like our birthright. I was saying year qualify, but we are struggling against teams like Niger and Angola. And this game, the fans did their part at the Barbara Sports, but we lost. That is why they were frustrated.
I think it's a wake-up call for our national team, the Black Stars of Ghana. This particular result against Niger and Angola, which Mama, backroom staff, and the technical team, the opportunity to, explore more and look for other players for specific positions and players, which Mama players be in our team that needed competition almost. When you look at the team, we were missing about 5 key players, Gideon Mensah, who has been our consistent left back in recent times, after Baba Man decided to say, or retire from the national team prematurely, Gideon Mensah has been our left back. So he was not there, so we need to improvise. When you look at our central defense, in the last 4 or 5 years, our best central defender has been Alexander Jiku. So going into a big game like this and we are missing 2 key players is a big blow to the team.
But if you miss Jiku and cannot beat Angola, I beg to differ.
Hold on. These same players have been in Ghanaian squads and we failed to beat Comoros. These same players have been in Ghanaian squads.
Madagascar, we've struggled against Madagascar.
We've been bundled out of AFCON.
It's a wake-up call.
Any excuse.
In recent times,
if you want to get the best out of Thomas Partey. If you're missing Jiku and you can't beat Niger.
That is why I'm building the point. In recent times, you want to get the best out of Thomas Partey. You need Abdul Salis.
You see what you were raising this morning on the sports park?
Yeah.
Will Morocco today say they are missing somebody? It comes down to the point you're raising.
Morocco in recent times, our pool of talent, they rely on them.
Pool of talent.
And who would compare the Moroccan national team and other national teams?
We shouldn't compare Ghana to Morocco. Yeah, we shouldn't compare Ghana to Morocco. But I do think we don't have enough points.
Your call-up is like a template.
Yeah.
That is why I say it will be a wake-up call to Otuado. So that we can rely on some players because that is sometimes it happens. Come to me, players in the Premier League, English Premier League, Spanish La Liga, and call other players. But I'm sure after these 2 games, I bet remember the coach an opportunity to explore further.
Look, I
go to Apoel Nicosia. Kingsley Safu is playing well.
Yeah.
Bernard Tepete is playing well for Ludogorets Rascal.
Would you play Kingsley Safu ahead of Thomas Partey?
You would need players in specific positions who can give other players that need that competition.
I spoke to Otuado. Was still about 70 pool of Ghanaian players
that he takes
and
from.
all those names you are mentioning are his pool.
Yeah.
At the moment, he doesn't think it's the right time to bring them because those he has played are way upgrades over those boys.
Yeah,
he feels these are the best men for the assignment.
If those boys are coming, they should be able to bench the ones here.
Yeah. So when no opportunity, you train with these guys.
That is
why I'm saying, only opportunity now who training with them, coach you better opportunity training with the players. He will select the best out of them.
Have you forgotten what you are talking about? This is the national team. You don't even get 5 days to train.
That's what I'm saying.
Maximum
it take time.
3 days.
We were missing the next Myanmar. We were missing Abdul Salis. As it stands now, Biabaja to say, you need Kudus back up. So when Kudus is over elaborating on the ball, you need other player on the bench to make things simple.
Abdul Salis himself has not been consistent.
You need a coach to think.
Yeah.
That's why he's paid to do the coach.
Let's get this fact straight. You are talking about NS Nuyama. NS Nuyama starting ball Black Star. Is he one of the most influential players in the Black Star?
He was warming himself into
but he's not one of the most influential players.
On your A class.
Influential players in recent times.
Salis now
so it looks like other players are warming themselves into the team.
When was the last time Salis though? Apart from after World Cup.
He compliments the effort of Thomas Partey.
So you mean we can't beat Niger? We can't beat Niger because Salis is not part of the team.
Other factors.
Mani checking Salis' performance in his last 4 games for the Black Stars. The performance abon. To the point say the team grow wapam.
Yeah.
Team wapam.
Now he plays for Sunderland.
There's other issues, but
no. Now he plays for Sunderland. He was relegated to the Team B.
It's purely performance. Do your background check and find out. Here's the player was playing in the Champions League last season. Or nobody.
Lens.
No, but no Champions League. And they yapamano. Of course, Sunderland. What I say?
Before he went on, he was with the Team B. He was training with the Team B.
Boy Nankasa, the form, tiba form. If you saw about Black Star, on elevate you.
Yeah, after
so
the World
such a
Cup.
player, ultimately can James say, only Ghana national team, we should struggle.
That is why I can say a wake up call. It will give the coach opportunity. There's one young guy in Saint Etienne, Augustin Boache. He's playing well. Coach will bring opportunity after.
No, you see,
Emmanuel Jesse is playing well in the Italian Serie A. Coach will bring opportunity after.
But this is
so
a coach
there's a wake up call.
This is a coach who says
there's a difference between calling a player and having the guts to use a player. Why do you bring Ebenezer Annan, who plays for Red Star Belgrade? He's a natural left-footed left back.
Yes.
In 2 games, he's on the bench and you are playing a right-footed. Because Onyaku Kuduro, Obetima Frewo, Sebe Obe Yusuno. And I'm saying that big coaches take tough decisions. Today you were trying to school me, you were educating me why the Senegalese boy is now playing in midfield ahead of Idrissa Gana Gueye. You need coaches with balls to take decisions.
And I think Otuado has it. It will take
I don't think so.
process.
I don't think so because ultimately you can never bench Thomas Partey. Otuado ultimately bench Thomas Partey.
That is why you will need someone now that complementing the effort.
Onidi obi crowd in the back. Onidi obi crowd in the back. We saw 2 midfield combinations. Against Angola, it was Thomas Partey, Elijah Usu. Yeah. Against Niger, it was Thomas Partey and who? Ashimeru playing there.
So it means you need someone who complement the effort of Partey.
You see,
and who is that someone?
That is what we need to look for.
Who has to look for?
Let me try to break this down. Jose made a very good.
It's not easy for Tuadu to decide. Say, "Me fair Andre the Dio." That is what I'm saying. It's a wake up call.
It's not easy like how. It's not easy.
So that is what I say. It's a wake up call. Oh, Tuadu, no. Our next game against Sudan, you will see a different Black Stars.
Which Black Stars?
You will see a different Black Stars. That's what I'm saying.
No, you mean he's not going
this
to call
particular 1 point?
No, but you mean he's not going to call these players again?
Black Stars
That's what I'm saying. He will bring difficult, but I understand. I feel he has started a league, you know.
Listen, I'm a local player being Kotina. If you can say, Master, you fancy a befre, you mbaku for no more phantom with you.
Well, Nana, I'll come back to you, but our phone lines are activated. You can now call us and share your thoughts and opinions with us. 055-846-2088, 055-846-2088. Yankwa man, so na Jacob. Jacob, you the Black Stars. What do you make of their performance? Hello, Jacob. I can barely hear Jacob. Take the castle here. Jacob, so over to me, I'm on it. So, Kakradi, Amaya.
So, we can league na ya start, you know. Team Sakasiano, Yampese, Litano, or Muntumin performing. No more by qualification. Sa goes to be a lot of more share me, go cope for 1 year. But Munina, Yampese, our teams, you know, by yet at the enemy. It will be a more than year. Thank you. Okay, yeah, that's it. Kwame, boys, no more to share tonight. I mean, there's been question raised about some.
Who's your friend? Different.
Nana, I say George, free and take. George, yeah, the Black Star home come out. 1 defeat, 1 draw. What do you make of that?
Mutala, Michia, right?
Major also.
Aha. Nothing says over here. What I last on the pass. Now, but I'll be team myself.
Yeah.
I am attacking mass sports bar. But that time in some more can sometimes, unless I am a video matemu, because too much is not going to who say, we catching a party boy. I say, born and fano, on your one on anti, facts in difference will be no more anti. What's a born on board? I say, Muni passion say, Willful said, their own dream. You
always say that there's a way to lose a football match and still have the applause of the fans. But if you don't show desire, the desire of the Black Stars have been questioned by a lot of people.
That's the point I was about to drive at. You know what? These guys play without any urgency. Some of them.
Yeah.
They play without...
Some ex-Black Star players have criticized
They play without any seriousness. And I'm looking back and I'm looking at the passion that Stephen Appiah played the national team with. I'm looking at the passion that Muntari played the national team with. I'm looking at what Antonianan, Ajiman, Bedu, Inkum, Harrison, they brought on board. And I'm thinking that these guys are quality. You're West Ham, you're Arsenal, you're Bournemouth, you're Bilbao. But you're not going form. No. Genuinely, I'm not going form. And I think, say,
well,
Ghana Steven
Steven is calling us from Hacho. Steven, we are talking about the Black Stars and their recent performance in the...
So let's use them. Let's blend them with the foreign ones so at least we can get a solid team.
Okay, Mati. Nanedu, I mean, they are all talking about the desire of the players, the hunger of the players. Many are saying they didn't show urgency because even against Niger, after going up by a goal to nil, many were expecting some form of urgency, that desire to even add the second goal and kill the confidence of the Nigerians. But the Yehusa, as a more really game, they will be.
You know, I always have problem in recent times. Your format the ball Africa qualifies. You know, when you have full house, actually, it's why be at Tuesday morning, Thursday, now ball qualifies, and yet the same as the previous years. You know, when you have full house by Tuesday, Sunday now ball game. No, so I'm what Africa hano qualifies in recent times. You don't get the best of the results if you're the big teams.
Okay, Mesaba Hakim also Freya from Sharmine. Hakim, I'm sure you have a lot to say about the Black Stars. Let's hear you. Hello, Hakim. Hakim article, Yenti Hakim Nka. But Nana, the way forward, that is what I want to know. I mean, 4 weeks to our next game against Kwesi Sudan. What is the way forward?
If you're a big player,
yeah,
right, you show up on the big stage. Croatia ball, when you show winning goal.
Modric.
Luka Modric. And no one will say no way winning goal. Erling Haaland. Scotland, Portugal, when they say winning goal.
It was Cristiano Ronaldo.
Okay. And to who your party, who your kudus, who your one. Not say about ball, not say we are ball numa.
Well, we have one final caller on the line. Stephen from Ashama. Stephen, Black Stars, on command the Eddie, performance, no soon when saying.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah. Me share on my performance now, like, share on my hockey kana. Ultimo say, who go on my share no, they didn't even celebrate the goal. How who can go nearby? No, there wasn't any seriousness about the boys. Who seriousness there? You know, they should work on their seriousness. About boy, you know. Thank you.
So, Nana, final words before I go to Nanedu, then we wrap up.
I think Otuado is not a bad coach. I don't think Ghana has a bad team, but I think Ghana must get things right. Player selection, how to structure them on the field of play, and for the players themselves, they need to understand that. Without national team football, you can make your name and make your money abroad, but this is what brings you prestige. There's nothing like national team.
Nanedu, 4 weeks to the next game, do or die affair against Sudan.
I first say, you know, Umbie ne scouting we name. On trade na team, local league na shase. There are other players I mean for say position. Like example. Say Gideon Mensah and Baba Man in Iwa. We can get an equally good left back in the local team.
Like
as a careful.
Or the BFA Aburichaba Kramanam. Or Resta Belgrade.
Anan came, he never played.
In recent times, who obi say Jonathan Sowa, Masola Bekwemo, those players in the national team.
Yeah, shadow. Omo question national team can no match no ma be few. Omo initiation dance ni we no omo.
The problem is that you can check their record and they've not even played up to 5 games for the Black Star. Yeah. Yeah.
But one cup the previous AFCON. They are just not cut for it.
Yeah.
Well,
this is where time will permit us, but let's go through the standings again. Now, that is Group F, where Ghana finds itself. Remember that 2 teams will qualify from each group to the Africa Cup of Nations proper in Morocco in 2025. But currently, it is the Palancas Negras of Angola who are leading the way with 6 points, and Kwesi Sudan are second with 3 points. They face Ghana next, who have 1 point and are third on the table. Niger also have a point, and they got that point from Ghana. So that game against Sudan at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, it is a do or die affair for Otuado and the boys. Otuado has already said that they can't afford to drop more points. They need to win to get back on track. We cannot afford to miss out on the Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco because it is a December AFCON and we must be there. My name is Mutala Yakubu. Thanks to my senior colleague Nana Dakwa JC and of course Nanedu for being here. This is the GPL Headquarters. We come your way again on